everyone, Chris Erkley here with your Week 2 edition of the HS Game Time You Pick'em show. To my left, the local expert, the Glaze, Kyle Glazer in the house. Boy, do we have some real dandies this week in Week 2. First, though, we'd like to give a quick shout out to our Week 1 winners. A tie at the top. Coach Rock out of Temecula and Darren LaRue from Corona both had 14 out of 15, including that tiebreaker pick on Heritage. That was a good game out there between Heritage North. But fast forwarding now to Week 2, we begin at the top of our list here. Tahquitz and Murrieta Mesa. That could be a real showdown. Right now, 58% are taking Mesa. Mesa got a real run for their money against Hemet, though. Can Tahquitz help out their Hemet brother?
I actually think Tahquitz will avenge their Hemet brothers' loss. Now, Tahquitz, we know they're one of the most talented teams in the area with Michael Stewart and Derek Peters. Mesa has had two very good wins over Hrupa Hills and Hemet. However, Tahquitz, I believe, is a step up in competition. Tahquitz is well rested after a bye week. I am picking the Titans to win this one.
Next game on the docket, Great Oak and Rancho Verde. Great Oak, a team that was getting a lot of chatter out of the Southwest to start the year. Rancho Verde, we know who they are. They're always going to be right there at the top right now. 98% taking Rancho Verde. Is it going to be that easy?
Yeah, I'm joining those 98%. Rancho Verde, they blew a halftime lead against Tesoro last week. I believe they were up 20-7, lost 35-20. They're going to be ticked. The talent level that Rancho Verde has is just way superior to what Great Oak has. I think that I'm going with the majority on this one. Rancho Verde to win comfortably.
Another game that will not disappoint is Santiago and Elsinore. Santiago 0-2 right now, but they have just ran through the gauntlet, a couple big-time grinder games that they've just fallen a little short on. They will be playing Elsinore. Elsinore, their one loss right now is to a very tough Rancho Verde team. Does Elsinore have what it takes?
You know, I've got this as a toss-up. I mean, trying to pick this one, I've been going back and forth all morning. Santiago, the concerning thing to me is the defense. While they have been playing some good teams in Hart and Mission Viejo, giving up 50 points both games, it's tricky, and Elsinore can score. They have a good quarterback in Tommy Wilson, a good running back in Shane Pico. I'm going to pick Santiago, but there's not a lot of confidence in that pick. I really want to see more out of the Sharks' defense than what they've shown. Even against big opponents, you got to play better than they've played. And Elsinore, they have the weapons to make them pay, especially if they control the ball possession-wise in terms of a strong running game.
Another game that has a lot of people talking this week is Murrieta Valley and Roosevelt. Roosevelt, a team that maybe was not at the top of a lot of people's charts to begin the year, but they have come out with a bang. Murrieta Valley also 2-0 right now. Kyle, this should be a showdown.
You know, this is also a tough one to pick. I am going to go with Roosevelt. The two teams they've beaten, Tustin and Charter Oak, those were two of the state's top 60 teams, according to the preseason rankings. They beat Tustin convincingly, and then that thriller against Charter Oak. Murrieta Valley is also 2-0, and you know Vinny Fazio and his staff are going to have their team prepared. But right now, Roosevelt's offense is clicking on all cylinders. I think there's just going to be, the Mustangs are going to have too much firepower, and they will defeat the Nighthawks.
Finally, our tiebreaker game, a battle to the big kahunas, Centennial and Long Beach Poly. Centennial put on an offensive powerhouse-type performance last week. And then, of course, Long Beach Poly began the year top 10 nationally in a lot of rankings. They did take a loss this past week to Servite. Centennial, can anyone stop Trey Watson?
To this point, I'm going to say no. I mean, Trey Watson, what he's doing now with the full-time running back load, I mean, he's on pace to shatter records, section records. I am going to pick Centennial here. I wanted them to show that they could beat St. Bonnie's, and they did so, fairly convincingly. St. Bonnie's got a little close there at the end. And Long Beach Poly, they're coming off a loss. Even their victory over Crenshaw was not particularly impressive. I think Centennial has a good chance to win this one comfortably. It's on a neutral site field at Mission Viejo. Don't be surprised if Centennial wins this one and vaults maybe to the top 5 in the national rankings.
Yeah, Centennial would really be put to the top of the map with a W against Poly on Friday night. All right, Kyle, thanks for joining us. That does it for your Week 2 edition of the HS Game Time You Pick'em show. Be sure to get those picks in. Got a lot of good Thursday games this week. Get those in by 5 p.m. Thursday. And then, of course, Friday night's games. That does it. We'll see you out there on Friday night.